behavior of coherent state are of great significance in the realm of quantum optics. The reason being, when you see the statistical behavior of this coherent state or the photon numbers or the photon number operator, what you get to know is that whether they follow the Poisson's distribution or non-Poisson distribution or the semi-Poisson distribution, accordingly we classify them into non-classical quantum states or classical quantum states. Okay, so keeping that thing in mind, let's see if the coherent states show us or give us a Poisson distribution of probability. Okay, and that would again lead us to some more promising conclusions. Okay, so in last lecture we saw that the mean photon number n is alpha mod square. Alright. Now, something that characterizes Poisson's distribution is if your variance becomes equal to the mean of a data or a statistical interpretation, then it guarantees Poisson distribution. This is one characteristic of the Poisson distribution. So we already have the mean. For calculating the variance, which is denoted by delta n squared, because this will be given by n square's expectation value minus n's expectation value. If I get to prove this thing equal to this expectation value of n, then I would be able to prove variance equals to mean, and I would be able to show that my coherent states show a kind of Poisson distribution. Alright. Okay, so let's start to calculate then delta n squared, and we already have this thing, this is square here. We already have computed this mean of n. Let's calculate the mean of n squared. Alright. Okay, so n squared is going to be calculated in the following way. It has to be computed over the coherent state, right? So this is alpha n squared. So I write the number operator here, squared alpha, then alpha, and what is the number operator? The number operator is a dagger a, but then the square, so it's squared, so I have to put it 2 times here, and then alpha. Okay, this calculation is sort of very important because when you compute these creation and annihilation operators over particular quantum states, you have to kind of see their order, and you have to know which operator you should keep to the left of the cat or which operator you should keep to the right of the bra. That thing kind of matters here. If you do that the right way, then the rest of the calculation is a cakewalk. But then if you fail to do that, then of course you would be doing some mistakes and it would result in something very weird. Alright, let's do the following thing. I first write them separately, a dagger a dagger a alpha. I know for sure that a can operate on a cat alpha. I also know that a dagger, the Hermitian conjugate of that, the a dagger could act on a bra alpha. So these two are sorted. But then remains this two, a and a dagger. So to tackle them, what I do is I use this fundamental relation. The commutator of a with a dagger gives me a 1. This is something we take from quantum harmonic oscillator. This then gives a dagger minus a dagger a equals to 1. That means if I have to compute my a dagger only, this is 1 plus a dagger a. Alright. This is what I would plug in here. So if I plug that in here, then what I get is alpha a dagger 1 plus a dagger a times alpha. Now let me answer you, why did I do this? I did it for a following cause. I did it to keep the A to the left of alpha and the A dagger to the right of bra alpha. I mentioned it before also, right? That if it's a cat alpha, try to put A to the left of it. And if it is a bra alpha, try to keep a dagger to the right of it, so that you could operate them easily and compute the result better. This then becomes alpha A dagger. This A dagger multiplies with 1 and A dagger multiplies with 1 and then I keep it this thing here. So A dagger A alpha. This is the first term after multiplied here. Then the second term becomes alpha A dagger A, this A, then alpha. So far so good. Now you could see easily the advantage of what we substituted here. You could see the A's are operated on the alpha and the A dagger A's are operated on the cat alpha and the A daggers are operated on the bra alpha. Hence, this is something we already computed before, while we can compute our mean n, right? So this thing is nothing but mean n, because this is a number operator which we have already computed to be alpha mod square. Okay. Now we have to compute this thing. We could see A dagger operated on alpha twice, right? So this is alpha A dagger square and A square operated on the cat alpha. Alright. This then becomes, this thing stays there as it is. Now see, A dagger once operates on alpha bra to give one alpha star. If it operates twice, then it would give me alpha star 2 times. So what I have is alpha star squared, okay, because it operates twice. Similarly, A once operates on alpha to give a alpha, again operates to give a alpha square. This I get a alpha square. Alpha. Now you could further see, this thing I can write as alpha star alpha to the whole square. And alpha star alpha is nothing but alpha mod square. So alpha mod square to the square becomes alpha mod 4. Alright. So finally I obtain it as alpha mod square, this term, this is a plus here, sorry, and then alpha mod 4. So this is my expectation value of n square. Alright. Let me remind you of the target. The target was to achieve this result. That is, to prove this thing equals to n. This was the target, because if we are able to do it, we would be able to show that the coherent states and the photon number business follow the Poisson distribution. So we are halfway done. We are almost done. So delta n square, delta n the square then becomes equals to this thing minus this thing. This thing we have computed to be alpha mod square plus alpha mod 4. This thing is nothing but, what is this? Alpha square. So the square of it is alpha mod 4. Alright. So this thing and this thing cancels, and then I'm left with this thing, and this thing is nothing but the mean n. So we obtain delta n square to be equal to the expectation value of n. In other words, the variance of this thing is becoming equal to the mean. And this is something a statistical Poisson distribution characterized. And hence we say that the coherent states follow a Poisson distribution. Let's also compute the standard deviation, that is just the delta n, which is going to be the square root of the variance. Okay, and this is nothing but under root n. Okay, or n to the power half. Alright. There is another way to see this Poisson distribution in case of coherent state, and that comes directly from the probability calculation. Okay, the actual population distribution. Okay, let's do it in the next lecture.